West Street a little while ago and took some photographs of a truck, big one, full length articulated vehicle that could not get out of Station Road because the vehicle's parked on the opposite side. As we all know, this is a bus route, and the gridlock lasted more than 10 minutes. If there had been any form of serious emergency, the imagination just runs dry. So how do we address this as a problem? Address the problem. Right. I've got some bullet points here. Now the obvious one is the yellow lines. All that double yellow lines will do, apart from generating a bit of profit for Maidstone, will just move the problem. But it will give access. But then what about people's expectation to be able to park their vehicles in West Street? With the amount of development that is taking place, has taken place, and is likely to take place, this situation will get worse, especially with Forge Meadow and some properties that are being looked at very seriously in West Street itself. These developments will increase the number of demands for free parking. A solution to this could be, and it needs a thorough investigation, resident parking permits. That would spread the problem out, but there is no other, unless we build a car park in West Street, and that's not going to happen. I see no easy solution to this problem. What I ask for is a full, proper Maidstone Borough Council, highways, anybody, to have a close look at what could be a disaster in this village. And I haven't yet mentioned the 20 mile an hour speed limit. And that's it.
Could I have a photograph? Could you email that photograph?
It's been emailed to you. Everybody's got it.
When? Today?
No, when it happened. I put it to the whole council. Yeah, I should have it on file. Dig it all out. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I've also got two photographs. I witnessed a similar event, smaller lorry, but this one couldn't turn it into Station Road because of parked vehicles. And just as an aside, I was nearly taken off my bicycle on Sunday morning by somebody leaving the public car park at what I can only describe as walk factor 10. Whilst I was fully lit with a high-vis jacket on and my flashing lights, and he stopped, but it was like that. I might have used an unhelpful comment in his direction. So we clearly do need to do something about West Street.
We've lived here since in the early 80s. The difference between now and the early 80s is two factors. Is one, the fact that families have 1, 2, 3, 4 cars each. That's a huge contributing factor. And the other factor is the fact that the lorries are much bigger. And the combination of both of those factors make the position even worse. I suppose that what I might suggest, is that, for example, at Station Road, the size of the vehicles is really, really long. They're long, and they have a great deal of difficulty getting out. And I do admire some of the drivers for their tenacity and their driving ability, because it is an amazing manoeuvre to see them do it. But you're right, Matt, is the fact that there will be a situation where we need to get something through, and it's not going to go. So I suppose my suggestion is that we actually contact the businesses in Station Road, particularly the businesses nearest the line that have got very large vehicles, and just establish as to whether they need the size of vehicles to deliver the stuff that they do, because they have trouble themselves getting in and out of that station road, the station car park. So I was just wondering whether we could say that, that the parish council meeting is raised, you're obviously having trouble getting your vehicles in and out. Here's a way that you could look at that situation and try and reduce the size of the vehicles that actually accessing those businesses. We're not so concerned with the vehicles actually on the south side of the station industrial estate, because they are generally smaller vehicles, like the car repair place. They are generally smaller vehicles, but the vehicles on the north side, nearest the line, are very, very long indeed. So I'm quite happy to go up there and have a chat to the businesses up there and say that we've had a discussion about it and raise the concerns that Matt's raising. So want to come along as well, Matt, and you're more than welcome.
I would be delighted.
Okay. And bring the photograph as well. So is that okay?
No, that's fine. It's a major concern, and just as a side point, we could actually kind of contact parking people in Maidstone and just ask for their advice.
We have met with Charlie Reynolds in South and Jack and Tom about the Forge Meadow issue.
Yes.
And let's say that yellow lines and things. The corners, obviously the junction of Forge Meadow is very difficult for people to see, as it is Station Road.
Yeah.
And he has applied for yellow lines for Forge Meadow. Whether we get that, I don't know, but that has been applied for. And I think that could help if it was a small area. He didn't think at that time permits would work. But another contributing factor is obviously the payment of the station car park, because people don't want to.
We can't blame them.
No, absolutely. It's been free
That's,
for a very long time.
so
now they park in West Street. And I think that it would be worth revisiting that and asking whether they would rethink it at all.
You mean
the station, whoever owns that bit.
South Eastern?
I don't know who owns
They
the station.
contract it out to a national parking company.
Yes, but the land is owned by South Eastern.
Believe so.
So
I did try and contact them before for a long time. Nobody ever came back to me.
South Eastern.
I think Mike's
Sorry, Tom was going to make
Sorry, there's another thought. Because another factor in parking West Street at the current time is workers parking their cars in West Street and going to work on the
other side of
Silver
the road.
Road. So I was wondering whether you could go and, someone could go and speak to the the site managers, because I think that would be helpful if they actually could park their vehicles. Now they've got a bit of a car park there on the site, and I've seen a couple of people, there must be one.
There's a couple of vans that are
Additionally, Maidstone are granting residential planning applications in that area, both in Forge Meadow and along West Street, and they're not enforcing the parking allocation that they would enforce for example, the CTOL site, where they're requiring so many parking spaces per dwelling. And despite our best efforts to challenge that, we're not receiving any responses. And I think, again, while we're revisiting that list of issues, we ought to re-emphasise that point as well.
Yes.
What I was also going to suggest is, we do have this problem in Harrietsham where, for whatever reason, there seems to be more cars per household than anywhere else in Maidstone Borough. Is it 3 for every household? And I'm not sure who did the survey for that, but you're probably right.
Yeah.
And that's going to just impact on the problems that was already mentioned by Matt and Tom earlier. But I think if we can revisit, excuse me, Charlie parking and just say, it's getting worse by the day simply because of development. And West Street is really the only place where they can put. I don't know what the answer is, but if the answer can't come from us, we're going to have to ask somebody in a slightly higher place.
The Crest Nicholson, the Hollies, they're not allowed to park commercial vehicles there overnight, I believe. So they park in West Street after business hours.
But with everything else that's going on, it's only going to get worse, isn't it? And obviously we need to officially kind of seek their advice. So if we can do it on a, maybe get him out again and a few of us, he's quite amenable, but he hasn't always got the answers, has he? That's it. Okay, thanks very much, mate. Would you like to do
Yeah,
item
this is
15
only a
on the
really
agenda?
quick one. Obviously, there's 3 councillors on the staffing group, and Councillor Moore has offered to take Councillor Powell's place. So obviously, the meetings usually take place during the day, and it's just sort of time allowed. So it's just a case of just approving that change. So,
Glenn proposing Stephen second
just while we're on that, I have also sent out a committees list, because obviously we've got a lot of vacancies. I know obviously we've got 3 councillor vacancies, but there are a lot of vacancies on there. Only 1 councillor has responded so far. So
I did offer.
Yes, so obviously we'll approve that next time, but I just thought in the meanwhile, if anybody else wants to help out.
Tom's pretty
As
desperate.
it goes on to the F&G field.
Right, okay. So if
So
we
we're dealing
do,
with that next meeting.
yeah, we're gonna, so if anybody else in the meanwhile has any thoughts, please let me know.
Item number 16, future events. Do we normally go around the table on this one? Yes. We can start with Jackie.
Any my holiday, which no one wants to know about?
I'm very interested.
No.
Tom. Janessa.
Well, only that it's not really it's Harrietsham and Lenham. I've just spoken to yesterday Jez Clark's daughter, who was obviously very, very badly burnt.
Sound call.
Yeah, Jez Clark, Town Crier, and she is doing a parachute jump for the Katie Piper Foundation, which is to help other burns victims. So I will send around a link if people want to ask about that.
Jennifer, is she doing that at Headquarters?
I assume so, yes. I think 16th of October. It's on the, I don't know if it's on the link, whether it says where she's doing it.
Okay, Glenda.
Nothing from me.
No. Stephen.
5th October, is that the public consultation at the school for the expansion?
Yes.
So we ought to make people aware of that one.
Mm-hmm.
7th of October, I think it's Jubilee Tip, isn't it? Friday.
Friday after.
Friday after.
14.
14th. So 14th Jubilee Tip. 8th October, we've got Soup Saturday starting again in the church. And 21st of October, it's Film Club.
So what day in October?
21st of October. The afternoon presentation is Valentina, followed by the evening presentation, which is the Heist. There you go.
Mike, do you have anything to
No,
add to
nothing.
that? No. Okay. Number 17, any items for future consideration? If I can start with you again, Jackie.
No.
Tom? Janessa? Glenda?
I'd raise my street.
Well, I'll keep that on there.
Yeah,
Stephen?
nothing from there.
Fred?
Nothing for me.
Right, which leads me nicely to number 18, which is the date for the next meeting, which will be on Wednesday, the 26th of October, 7:30 p.m. Very cool.
And now we have the 15-minute public discussion and then the meeting.
Okay, so we can have another, if anybody's got any more questions for the public discussion, we can open it up for another 15 minutes.
When you're talking about the traffic